I would like to call to order the meeting of the Insurance Benefits and Ledge Committee for Thursday, February 11th, 2021. Please call the roll.
Yes, this meeting is being conducted virtually, so I would do a roll call of the trustees to confirm attendance. Mr. Knox, Mr. Santos, Ms. Gray,
Yes.
Mr. Bernstein,
I'm here.
Mr. Oakham,
I'm here.
Mr. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Kehoe,
Present.
Ms. Zapanta, Mr. Pryor,
I'm here.
Mr. Harris,
Here.
Chair Robbins.
I'm present.
Staff participating in the meeting includes CEO Santos Kryman, AEO JJ Popowich, Chief Counsel Stephen Rice, Legislative Affairs Officer Barry Liu, from Retiree Healthcare Cassandra Smith and Kathy Magida, Stephen Murphy, Paul Sadro, Richard Ward, and Michael Zito from Siegel, and Lisa Moreno, Mark Fry, Michael Allard, and Jeff Chin from Kaiser. Trustees, if you have a comment or question on any item, please use the Zoom chat option to be placed in queue. At this time, we ask all meeting participants to mute your mics until you are ready to speak, and we may now proceed with the agenda.
Thank you very much. We have a full committee. Item 1A is approval of minutes of the regular meeting of January 14th, 2021. I need a motion.
So moved.
Are there any changes, corrections? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Ms. Gray,
Yes.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye.
Mr. Oakham,
Yes.
Chair Robbins.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously.
We are on to item 2, public comment. Do we have anyone from the public wishing to address the committee? I'm unaware of any.
No, we had no requests.
Thank you very much. We're on item 3A, recommendation by Cassandra Smith, Director of Retiree Healthcare, that the committee recommends that the Board of Retirement approve the fiscal year 2021-2022 rate renewal proposal and mandatory contractual changes listed by carrier and the administrative fee. We have a memo dated February 4th in our packet. Cassandra, it's all yours.
Yes, I am happy to present that we have our 2021 rate renewals finalized with an overall increase to the program of 1.2%, which comes out to approximately 20.4 million savings for the program for both the plan sponsor and our members. The medical came in with an overall increase of 1.3, and the dental actually had a decrease of 0.3%. I can go over each percentage, but you have the memo there. So whatever the committee's desire is, let me know.
I move that we bring this to the full board for approval. This is an absolutely incredible outcome. I want to congratulate you, Cassandra, and our advisors, because if we're talking about a 1.2% increase, I think that's the lowest one I've seen in 8 or 9 years. Is that correct?
Yep, it's been a while.
Yep. So thank you for everything you did to get that done.
Thank you.
I also think it might be the lowest one I've ever seen since I've been on the board, but this is
Well, but she should have gotten a
good
negative.
news on steroids.
We should have had a negative 0.5%, Cassandra.
We'll try shooting for that another time. I won't say next year though.
Okay.
Maybe the calm before the storm. Does anyone have any specific questions? I totally agree with Ron, and I was particularly blown away and amazed by the Kaiser Permanente numbers. So whatever's happening there, just keep it up. I know we've got some Kaiser folks that have plugged into the meeting. So a job well done. You provide health insurance for a huge number of our retirees. So, with that, we have a motion. We have a second, correct?
I didn't hear a second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay,
Without further ado, take the roll.
Ms. Gray,
She must-
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
Mr. Kehoe,
Aye. Great work.
Mr. Oakham,
Yes,
Chair Robbins.
I'm a big yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much for everybody that participated, everybody that worked so hard, our consultants, our staff, everybody. This is good news at the end of a really ugly year. So with that, we'll go to item 4A, the engagement report for January 2021. Mr. Liu.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Robbins and committee trustees. Some items of interest for you this month. First items regarding Virginia. So it's the latest state to establish its own state-run retirement program, and it will be run by the state's 529 College Savings Plan Board. So essentially very similar to other plans that other states have established. And in general, it seems like the state-run plans are becoming more and more prevalent. California, Oregon, and Illinois have plans are running, and then other states are either starting to sign up employers or they have at least introduced legislation, such as 20 other states and cities, to start establishing programs or form study groups to basically increase their retirement access. And so recent New York Times article had profiles on small business owners who are participating in our state-run programs, and their experiences have been pretty positive. A lot of small businesses basically outsource a lot of administrative functions, so they really need like a turnkey solution, and a lot of these state-run programs provide that for them. And at the same time, the Secure Act, which was enacted in 2019, also helps to provide retirement access in that it allows unrelated small employers to form 401k plans. Previously, you can only have employers in the same industry to form such plans, but now with the Secure Act, recently California has a California 401k plan. Now, this is not established by the state. This is actually established by, I guess, a private sector provider, but this would provide a 401k plan as opposed to an IRA that's under the state-run system. And I think one of the key differences is probably the contribution limits, which are generally lower with IRA plans, but with 401k plans are higher. So these plans might be more focused on other economic sectors, such as people, industries that have more high earning professionals, such as doctors, dentists, accountants, lawyers that are small to mid-sized companies, but they would probably find something like a 401k plan, more desirable in terms of the features than an IRA. And then with the new Congress, the Ways and Means Committee, the chair, Richard Neal, released a agenda on retirement security. So you can see some of the bullet points here. In general, they're trying to strengthen and improve Social Security benefits, as well as increase access to retirement security by making it easier to save for retirement. And then the next item regarding CalSTRS, which is interesting. So with the pandemic, one of the ongoing discussions is about schools and how and when to reopen them. So certainly, teachers have sort of, borne the brunt of this pandemic in terms of, their role in education. And so CalSTRS reports that in the last 6 months of 2020, they have had about 3,200 teacher retirements, which is a 26% increase from the same period the year before. So in their internal survey, they indicated that 62% indicated retiring earlier than planned. And the reasons that the teachers have given are more than half of them say that there have been challenges teaching during the pandemic. Another third said that they didn't want to continue working remotely. And then another third said that they didn't want to risk exposure to COVID-19. In comparison to CalSTRS retirements for 2020 fiscal year, about the same as last year. They've had about 34,500 retirements. And then lastly, the item about life expectancy, which is not unexpected in that COVID-19, according to a recent study, has shortened life expectancy for Americans by about 1.13 years to 77.48 years. And so it's the largest single decline in the last 40 years. And it's also the lowest estimated life expectancy since 2003. So they've also analyzed the impact of the pandemic on different minority populations and the risk factors for disease that include not only chronic health conditions, but also social and economic disadvantages. You may remember prior to the pandemic, in the years 2015 through 2017, there were drops in life expectancy about just 0.1 years, which were attributed to deaths of despair related to the opioid crisis and drug abuses. And also in comparison to the 1918 flu pandemic from 100 years ago, that one reduced life expectancy by about 7 to 12 years in comparison to our current pandemic. So that concludes my report, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for Barry? Seeing none, hearing none.
No, I do have
Nope,
one.
nope. What do you got?
Had to turn it on. Barry, is there any new information on the windfall eliminations provision?
Nothing to report. I think there may be bills that are going to be reintroduced this year because the bills from the last Congress is the last Congress. So right. So we'll continue to stay on top of this, and I'll report any new developments. But as you can see from the Ways and Means Committee and also President Biden, they did express that Social Security was going to be one of the priority issues to deal with. So we'll continue to keep top of this, and I'll continue to relay new developments.
Okay, thanks.
Any more, Mr. Moore?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Liu. We're on item B, staff activities report. Cassandra, anything?
Not really, just the reporting. We sent out 317 1099s out to the people that have domestic partners on their account where they need to pay taxes on that because the federal government does not recognize domestic partners as a qualified dependent. So, but that's it.
Thank you very much. We're on to item C, LACERA claims experience. Mr. Murphy, you're up. Turn on your mic.
I have nothing good to say, but I'll turn it over to Paul and he'll walk you through it.
So on the first page, we see premium and enrollment. We did see increases in enrollment in Kaiser of 9 retirees and UHC 14 retirees. Kaiser's premium did decrease, and that was due to shift in enrollment to lower cost plans, and UHC's premium did increase. This is consistent with prior reports where we are seeing a steady increase in the enrollment in United Healthcare. Overall, we saw a premium decrease of $140,000 for medical, and dental premium remained roughly the same. And in total, we added about 40 retirees. So if we move on to the next slide. Anthem and Kaiser did not change significantly from the prior report. We did see an increase in Cigna, which we also saw in the large claims report. Cigna is a smaller group, so it's more prone to fluctuations from month to month. We did review those claims, and it seems to be a few large claims that are driving this increase. So we can proceed forward. Next slide, please. So here we have the breakdown for, sorry, Steve, if you want to go back just to Anthem.
Giving me too much credit, Paul. I have no power over this.
Okay. Yeah, so as mentioned before, Anthem didn't change significantly, but we did see a slight decrease in both Plan 3 and in Prudent Buyer. They were at 2.5% and 2.8% in the prior report. And we're seeing that both in prescription drug and in medical. We can proceed to the next slide. This slide is the same as in the prior report. It's showing the Kaiser experience. As mentioned before, there is a reduction in claims due to utilization reductions resulting from COVID restrictions, the exception being in prescription drugs. So we can proceed forward. And for the large claims report, as mentioned before, we are seeing that increase in Cigna due to some large claims coming in December. In the prior report, we were seeing $333 per retiree per month, and now that's up to $354. As we've mentioned before, high cost claims above the pooling point do represent a pooling credit in a renewal. So the pooling point and claims above the pooling point do not have an adverse effect on the renewal. There was also a slight increase in the Anthem large claims as well, to 38. And last month was around 5 lower than that. So we can proceed forward. Rebates are the same as the prior report. We're expecting updates for the fourth quarter of 2020 at the end of March. And the final slide showing dental and vision. As shown before, we are seeing a large decrease in the current period in claims, and that's due to reduced utilizations due to COVID-19. We might want to note at this point that Cigna did provide premium credits for utilization reductions for the 19-20 period, and those were equaling 1 month of premium that were reimbursed. So that brings the experience report to a conclusion. If there are any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Thank you very much.
Great report.
Mr. Murphy, item D, federal legislation.
I'm going to stray from the topic briefly on COVID-19 vaccines, the kind of distribution. So not a surprise to anybody in the meeting. What we're facing right now is a supply issue. There's a lot of capacity to deliver, but we just don't have the supplies. I saw an email from one of your vendor partners, United Healthcare, this morning, talking about people trying to charge to get people in the queue for their vaccine. And of course, that's not required. So again, there's a lot of scams out there going on. So thanks to UHC for highlighting that. And then Kaiser is going to be one of the key partners in delivering vaccines through mass distribution centers. Cal Poly Pomona is the site for Southern California. So Kaiser is going to be part of that process. So again, things are coming online. We'll see more distribution of vaccines to pharmacies, retail pharmacies. So again, we anticipate things will improve quickly, but that's kind of where things are at there. 2 legislative issues. One, we've talked about pharmacy rebates periodically in the past because it has an important impact on kind of your overall budget. The Trump administration had pushed out regulations that would have made pharmacy rebates change from returning to the plan sponsor to being reimbursed to the member at point of service. So there would be a loss of funds for the plan overall. The Biden administration has arranged to kind of postpone that for at least a year to give them an opportunity to kind of look at the regulations and see what may happen. So we'll continue to monitor that nationally as well as through CVS, your pharmacy partner, and we'll see where that takes us. And quick note, on February 16th, we've got a seminar led by Kathy Backich, who you've had the pleasure of seeing speak at some of our offsite retreats. She's going to be leading a discussion on new transparency cost requirements that will have an impact on plan sponsors going forward. So we'll monitor how that translates. And she'll also highlight the No Surprise Act, which is meant to protect members from high out-of-pocket costs should they go to an emergency room and be charged or be served by a non-network provider. So that's on the 16th. If there's interest, we can certainly pass out the forward the invitation to you. But that's a quick run around on legislation.
Thank you very much. Anyone have any questions for Steve before we move on?
Yeah, the only question I have, Les, Steve, are they going to have enough vaccines starting next week for the second shot?
My guess is no. I will defer to anybody else on the Siegel team, but my guess is they're running a little bit behind. I'm trying to recall, I think Kaiser issued a letter last week or 2 weeks ago, and I think that they conceivably have the capacity to deliver 200,000 shots in a given week, but they're only getting vaccines equal to about 40,000. So it's hard to tell how we're going to close that gap here in the short term, but I'd say in the intermediate future, we should be fine.
Okay, thank you.
Kathy McGee, did you want to talk?
No.
Oh, I saw your box light up. That's why I was thinking maybe you wanted to chime in.
No, it clicks on and off. I don't know why. That's not me.
Okay. Not pilot error, airplane error.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Steve? We're on to item 5. Thank you, Steve. We're on to
Thank you.
item 5, items for staff review. Anything, Terry?
No, I have nothing.
And we are on to good of the order. Does anyone have anything under good of the order?
I do.
Sean?
Yep. I just want to say I'm sitting here listening and reading all the material, obviously before the meeting, listening to everybody talk. It's always an honor to be on this committee, and it's always an honor to work with the staff here. I think that this division at LACERA is just run so smooth, and it doesn't go unnoticed by me, and I know the other trustees. And our consultants are great. I mean, I just really, truly enjoy it and enjoy the work here with this. I think you guys all did, and it's really was just understated on how much amazing work you did on putting together the proposals, as well as all the information that we see and receive every day. So just wanted to mention that as I sit here and listen to the conversations and see the workload from this committee.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? With that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And we are adjourned.